Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk, for sure.
It's going to be. It is going to be.
And did we get a hold of our guest, Jeff?
We did. Everything's copacetic.
Oh, awesome. And nothing like scaring us at the last minute, is it?
Well, it's kind of like, and I'm not even going to say it. We're not supposed to talk politics, so I'm not going to.
Okay, but it's okay. Of course, we're going to have an awesome show. We're going to talk about East Coast hunting and relic hunting, and we're going to just do educate our members in a fun, informative manner. So with that said, let me get started here. Of course, Today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, which is where I'm at right now. And the lovely Jocelyn is in the other room. And if you have questions, folks, be sure to type them. Jeff or Jocelyn or myself will hopefully get them and be able to ask Jimmy Crossbones for sure. But of course, today's show is brought to you by Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here on Treasure Talk belong solely to the Treasure Talk guest or member, and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Moan.
Indeed.
And of course, our purpose, and this is what we try to do every week, our purpose is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting, and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's what we're going to do.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the giveaway, Jeff, they're asking already if they can enter the giveaway.
See that out there, adventures. Sorry, guys, it's got a cutoff at 6:30, and you have to remember Treasure Talk YouTube. So
why don't you, Jeff? Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Okay. What you have to do is you have to be a member of Treasure Talk on YouTube, and it's very easy to do. You just have to subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell, ask for all notifications, and then just send an email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, letting me know that you have done that. That way I can go and check and make sure that everything's good on both ends. And then just feel free on any week that I put up a separate video for a giveaway entry, just follow the directions and use the phrase that I tell you to use. And we do a random name drawing. Entries close at 6:30 p.m. every Monday night on the dot, not at 6:31, 6:30. And put them in the name picker. And if your name is called, you got 3 minutes to text the number that will be up on the screen and with your name and that you were here. So pretty easy. We got a lot of really good giveaways coming up. Awesome. We got a great giveaway tonight too. So, but you must be tuned in to win, and you must be a member. And I do check to be sure that you are a member. So when I do the drawing, so that's how we do it.
It seems pretty simple, Jeff. And I just wish I could enter myself to win the
I know some of this stuff's pretty good stuff, man.
And I know awesome stuff. I've seen some killer prizes. So. I wish I could enter it, but I'd have to. I guess I'll have to join another show or something and enter their contest.
Come up with an alias or something. You do that.
Yeah, I could come up with an alias, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But tonight we're going to have an awesome guest, aren't we?
We are indeed. We are indeed. Everybody has been looking forward to this, and I can't say as I blame them. I've been looking forward to it.
I like it because, people ask me all the time, do people still find treasure today? And I always tell them they do. And, like you and I, we'll find a single piece of treasure or a group of coins or whatnot. But Jimmy found, a hoard of gold coins on the east coast of Florida. And
That's
I've
right.
told people this because they say, "Can people still find treasure today?" And that's proof right there that it's found.
That's right. And when he sells those puppies, he said he was going to buy this lot I got for sale for cash money. You hear that, Jim? Cash money.
Cash money, yes. So it's
Uh,
it's it's awesome. So are we going to invite our guest in?
yeah, we are. I was just looking at some of the things in the chat. Uh,
Do we
some of
have
the
a guest?
comments. Anyways, tonight, folks, we got a fantastic individual. You've seen him before, and you will definitely see him again. He is a renowned treasure hunter. He has indeed found a golden hoard on the Treasure Coast. He got his article in American Digger magazine with Butch Holcomb was the #1 selling issue of American Digger magazine of all time. And Phil's holding that up. Great. And Phil's, do you still have any copies of that, Phil?
No, I don't have any copies for sale. I I guard this. This copy is not for sale. I actually have a couple of them, but whenever I see Jim the next time, I'm gonna get him to sign it, and then probably we're gonna do a club auction with it.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good idea. And now, I don't know if Butch has got any uh, or not.
He doesn't.
That might be something next time we have Butch on, we'll beleaguer him a little bit, see if he can't do some reprints.
Yeah, that was his fastest selling, and it sold out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because it is an incredible story. And
Yes,
we'll
it
chat
is.
a
And
little
we're
bit
going
about that
to hear
tonight
it
too.
firsthand, aren't we?
Yes, for sure.
Well, let's just bring him on. You know? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go, folks. Here is Jimmy Crossbones. Hey, James.
Hey, Jeremy, how we
How's
doing?
it going, Jimmy? Hey, Phil.
good.
Hello,
Hey.
Josh. Go back there.
Hey, so how you doing?
I'm doing just perfect. I can't complain about a thing. Can you
And
hear me
don't do
okay?
no good. Nobody listens.
All right,
I
so
know. I know.
tell everybody where are you living at? Where are you broadcasting from?
What was that?
Where are you broadcasting
I'm in
from?
New Smyrna Beach,
New
East
Smyrna
Coast, New
Beach.
Smyrna Beach.
Oh, okay. So how often you get out on the beach to detect?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not getting out on the beach very much here lately. Ever since the October, November storms, it's been sanding in so bad that it's very difficult over here on the East Coast to find anything at all. So I've been thinking outside the box, doing some different things, and come up pretty good, some pretty good stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are
we'll
they
chat
still
about
bringing in the sand from the central part of Florida, Jim, to pound on the beaches?
No, there haven't yet through here. Now, I'm sure everybody knows the devastation that Daytona Shores got. Uh, with that second storm come in, it took down quite a bit of the seawalls up and down through there, and it's been
Yeah.
tremendously amount of devastation all the way through there.
Yeah, so that's where they're concentrating their efforts now, I'm sure. But Terry Shannon's been telling us that, they've been bringing sand from the interior part of the state to put on the beaches. To replenish. It's crazy.
That's the problem we've got right now. They've
Yes.
buried everything that we're looking for pretty much twice in the last in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, we have a question from YouTube. One of the gentlemen's asking, or it could have been a gentle lady. I don't know. Jocelyn just forwarded it to me. Who got you into the metal detecting hobby, and how long have you been doing it?
I think this is my 13th or 14th year. Story to that, I've been down here in Florida about that long. And before we moved down here, I'm originally from Tennessee, but I don't have an accent. I'm originally from Tennessee, so I've got some friends up there that was into metal detecting at the time. And I met up with him one day and he took me out. I didn't know jack about metal detecting. And when he started talking about hunting the water, I said, metal detecting, you can't hunt the water. He said, oh, yes, you can. So I told him, yeah, I would like to try that out, but I don't have a machine. So he said, don't worry about that. I got a machine. I got a scoop. Just come on. So we went out there, and there was a place on one of the local lakes. And I went out there. We metal detected two or three, well, actually two or three different spots. And the one that we stopped at last, I pulled up 2 gold rings.
Hooked. Home.
And he still gripes about that too. Every time I go back up to visit, I said, Daryl, let's go detect it. He said, I ain't taking you out.
That's right.
So,
They never forget.
so that next week I went and bought my first metal detector, and there was a DeSoto tiger shark, and been hunting ever since.
Yeah, I owned one of the Tesoro tiger sharks also. And Jimmy, I would have never guessed you were from Tennessee.
I'm in the Nashville area.
Yeah, yeah. That tiger shark was an awesome underwater detector for freshwater lakes. It was just perfect. So, so what detector are you using now?
Well, I'm a mine labber, so I've got. In fact, shortly after I moved down here, I think I'm one of the first people in our club that got the CTX 3030.
Okay.
And of course, I had a lot of feedback from that. So, you paid that much for a metal detector, but tell you what, as you can see in that front of that magazine, it's paid off.
Yeah, yeah. That magazine is proof that it's paid for itself many, many times over.
So now I've got 2 CTXs. I've got one strictly for water use and one for land use, and also the Equinox 800s. I've got 2 of those. Rigged them up the same way. I've got one for the water and one for the land. So I'm
Okay.
still waiting on one of these cores to come out, but we can talk a little bit about that if you have time.
Huh, I wonder if people are saying we're getting an echo on you, Jim.
I don't know what to do about that.
Have you got
Maybe
You're
YouTube?
lucky you even got me on.
are
Let
you?
me let me try to turn
Yeah, I was
down the
gonna say,
volume a little bit, maybe.
turn it down a little bit. How's
Is that
that?
any better?
Yeah, that's better. I mean, I'm not hearing an echo, but they some people are saying there's a background noise and echo, but I don't hear it. But then again, I got my hearing aids in and they're cranked up, so strange things do happen.
Yeah. So right now
Well,
you're using your
hopefully that fixes it.
you're using your 2 CTXs.
Yes. In fact, I'm going out tomorrow, and I'm going to use one of the CTXs.
Okay. Well, it's an awesome detector, and for the folks who don't have that one and they want that one, that actually MindLab just dropped the price a little bit on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I guess with the Manicore and with the other detectors out, they just wanted to be more competitive with it. But that is an awesome deep detector, especially for beach hunting. Now, Jimmy, what size coil
Yeah,
you
I think
use?
it's going to be a hard. I've got all 3 coils. I've got the stock 11-inch coil, the 6-inch, and also the 17-inch.
Okay. Well,
And that
17
17-inch is a killer.
yeah. Well, you had said you were
In
using
fact, I
that with,
found a lot of all that treasure coins with a 17-inch coil.
and how deep were they? The treasure coins.
They were they were mixed. Some of them was 6 inches in the sand. Uh, the 8 scudos, I got to say that they were probably 15, 16 inches. So
Well, that's
they were just to the point.
found that down there. Yeah.
They were just to the point where they was almost unhearable.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that 17-inch coil will definitely go down that deep on the beach. Were they wet sand or dry sand, Jimmy?
Wet sand.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any trouble in wet sand going 17 inches.
No,
Yeah.
in fact, I don't know if a lot of people know, but after the storms in October and November, Daytona Beach produced silver coins like crazy.
I saw that, yeah. And, the Mumbles man and myself went down to Daytona, and we didn't find any silver coins. We found, a lot of coins and stuff. We didn't find any silver coins when we were there. We were there, I think when they were finding the silver coins, it was probably 2-3 days after the storm, I think. Or maybe
Yeah,
not even that long.
the first storm. I think the first storm was Nicole or the second storm. Ian was the first storm,
Yeah,
and
and I
I
think
had
Nicole wanted to
obligations
get all the
with.
damage.
Yeah, the
Ian
first
said
storm I missed
Nicole
about a week
finished the
of
job.
it.
Yeah.
The first storm I missed about a week of it because I had obligations to our club that I had to fulfill.
See,
As
that
soon as
shows you
that
do not
got
fall
finished,
asleep at a meeting.
I was out on the beach. I was out on the beach digging up silver coins, and a couple of my friends before me, they were out there during that period. And I think they dug over 25 silver coins in one day.
Dang.
So I was really anxious to get out there and start finding. And throughout that month of Ian and Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
I got to brag. I come up with almost 200 silver coins.
Now, your silver coins, they were modern silver. They weren't shipwreck coins, right?
No, they weren't shipwreck coins. I mean, just regular. We had Barbers, we had SLQs, we had Walkers, Franklins, Mercury dimes. Uh, throughout that whole period, it almost like it just took enough sand off that beach to go down to that time period where there was no metal detecting.
Yeah,
And even though the ones I got was a lot, I bet there was a couple of thousand silver coins taken off that beach within those 2 months.
probably. Sure.
Yeah. So a
They're
lot of
still down
sand.
there.
Yeah, it was a lot of sand removed. And it's funny, the east coast of
Now,
Florida, you guys have that. As the west coast where I'm at over here, we don't have the slope and we don't have the erosion that you have on the east coast. So, we would hit coins that were lost 50 years ago. So
yeah,
we don't have that type of erosion or sand moving to cover it up. It's such a gentle slope walking out. So it's very interesting that you found that many silver coins.
I know somebody's going to ask, well, how come I wasn't on my treasure area? Well, I watched it closely, and for some reason, there just wasn't enough sand pulled off that area to produce anything. But since then, I have been hearing of the few coins that we've been finding down there. I think Terry Shannon found a couple 2 weeks ago, and he had someone down from Minnesota that found a couple.
Yeah.
And he said it was just like just the erosion in one spot of the beach. And they watched it for 2 or 3 days. And I think I heard that somebody put a real out there also.
I think
And
Terry
then they
did.
went back.
Terry
Yeah,
got
they
a
went
4
back to
real
check
that
it.
I know of because I saw it on Facebook.
They went back a couple of days after that, and the city has gone in there and filled the cut back in.
Jeez.
So that's what we're faced against. Yes, as soon as we find a good spot that's producing shipwreck coins, it seems like they're right on top of it, trying to load it back up with sand.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to re-nourish the beach. Now, when you found the hoard of coins that you have in the magazine there, how many days did you get to hunt that before it was filled back in?
Well, actually, the story was I'll tell you how long it was. I think I spent a little over a week in that area, and every day I'd go and find a little bit more, find a pocket here and pocket there, and unfortunately I had to leave because my mother just passed away, and I didn't get back in that area till another 10 days after that. Of course, it was already sanded back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you said you use that CTX. Have you used the Equinox?
No, I was using CTX then.
I know, but have you used the Equinox series?
Oh yeah, yeah. I use all of them pretty much
Oh,
every week.
okay.
I think
So
a
are you?
detector has its spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, have you had a chance to try out the Deus 2?
No, that's again. I'm holding out for the Mind Lab Manicore. The other guys I hunt with, there's 5 of us, and 3 of those has got the Deus 2. And tell you the truth, here lately they've been eating my lunch. And I'm almost to the point. I'm getting tired of waiting on the Manicore to come in. I'm thinking about maybe go ahead and pick up a Deus because they've already done all the legwork. They know the settings. They know how to set it up. I could just roll right in and get them to help me set it up, and I'm there.
Yeah, yeah, the Deus 2. Jeff uses that. I've got one. It is an awesome detector. I mean, the Mind Lab's an excellent product too. But the Deus 2 you can get today. Everybody's
Yeah,
tired of waiting for this Manicore.
And you can get the 13-inch call.
Yes, 13 inch, you get 11
I
inch, you
know.
get
I
a 9
know.
inch.
I'm about that far away right now. I mean, it's just. I think within the next week I should have my hands on one. I don't know. I'm continuing, to hold out because uh, I just like the Mind Labs.
Yeah, it is different. The French do it a little differently, but if you got buddies who are using that and you want a Deus 2, you can holler at me. We can get one shipped over to you for sure.
I appreciate that offer.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
We
Well,
got
he,
them in
you know, he
stock.
takes he takes the credit cards, Jimmy. It ain't no problem. He'll make you an even trade for one of those eight Escudos,
Yeah, one of those gold coins. We can do
and
that.
he'll even throw in
Absolutely.
the
We can
13-inch
do
call.
that now.
I tell you, I'm looking for somebody that wants two Equinox 800 for Equinox 900. If you know anybody that likes to do a trading like that,
Yeah. Um, I've got too many in stock right now, so I can't do any trading, but that would be good for sure.
yeah, and I think they lowered their price down a little bit too, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah, the 900 comes with 2 coils now. So it's a good deal and it's a different shaft, so it's an upgrade. The 900 is over the 800. And it's
And we just heard today too, didn't we, Phil, that Detect Ed is making a carbon fiber lower shaft for the Deus 2.
yes,
The only problem with the Deus 2 in the water or in the surf was if you're a little taller, it's much, much worse.
right.
But the lower shaft wobbles a little bit.
Yes,
So I
it
talked
does.
to Ed at Detect Ed and said we need to make a whole shaft, but he's decided just to make the lower carbon fiber shaft. Steve's detector rods makes a completely carbon fiber shaft, which is really nice. I've got one of those. So
Yeah. I had to put my Deus 2 on the Anderson carbon fiber shaft because being taller, it would just have wobble in the water on the
mhm.
stock shaft. That's the only thing I didn't like about the Deus 2. That was the irritating thing for me because that plastic would have a little flex in it.
Yeah. See, I never really had that problem being a runt. I don't extend it out that far, but
Well, I never said that, Jeff.
I know. I know. See, when Phil and I hunt, we get out there and I'm up to my chin, and Phil's out there. He's still just chest deep, so he can go out quite a bit further than I can.
Yeah. Now, Jimmy, do you hunt in the water over there in New Smyrna?
Oh, yes, I do. In fact, since the beaches is all sanded in and not much to find out there, I'm hitting the cuts where I think the jury and whatever gets hung up in until the wave action decides to push it up on the beach, or spring breakers come in and starts dropping stuff, or I don't know how it is over on the west coast, but it's pretty bad right here right now. And I do get out in the water, and I do get out in the lakes, and we've done real successful in finding other means of detecting. That's worked out pretty good for us.
Now, are you wearing a wetsuit now? Are you wearing a wetsuit?
Oh yes,
Okay.
I think the water temperature now is between 69 and 70 degrees, and that's pretty chilly if you're out there very long at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
Usually
depending
when
on
we get
how
out
you
there,
get out, are you
we have
getting
to
some
wear a weight belt a
sunshade?
little bit to kind of keep us down close to the water, close to the sand.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
water
maybe.
temperature's cool over here on this side too. So, are we still getting feedback
Yeah, I think it's coming from you.
from me?
Yeah, you got. I don't know. Sometimes if it's in the same room, um, does Jocelyn's computer got its volume turned all the way down?
Yeah, yeah. Let me make sure it's turned down, and let me just do that and see if we can eliminate that.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll be down in your area. We're down in Sebastian in April. There'll be a few of us down there. We'll give you a
Yeah,
holler.
yeah, do that, and maybe me and you and maybe Terry can meet up and find some coins.
Yeah, well, Terry will be with us. We're doing excuse me, we're doing a treasure tale segment from Sebastian. I did one a year ago. I rent a
Okay.
house down there and have some friends come over and we stay. And this time it's going to be the Mumbles man will be with us, and Rick Tumbleson, Art and Rose Frazier um, will be with us at the house, and we're going to have a big show that night where Terry Shannon will be on. So will Captain Fizz and Mark Littleton, and then we'll have Sid and KT Jones from the Etosha on that night. So we'll be there, all weekend, and we're going to do some hunting. So we'll get up with you. And
Yeah, do
well,
that.
Phil just back out. There he is. Phil, don't hit buttons, man.
I'm trying to get rid of any feedback we might have.
Well, I'm not hearing any. So
Well, Jocelyn just said they said it's gone, so hopefully it is.
yep. So well, Mermaid Treasure Hunter says drink some wine. I should. I should drink a lot of wine, but
Yes,
I'm trying to be good.
and I think my buddy Big Poppy is helping you out with that.
Yes, he is. Big Poppy always helps me out. That's is my other brother from another mother.
Yes. Somebody's asking
Hey
me
Jim.
Manicore or Equinox 900. Well, if it was for the beach, the Manicore I'm sure has some upgraded features. If you could get a Manicore, I'd jump on it, but I wouldn't let that. If I needed a detector, I would get a 900 for sure.
Okay, we got a question up there from Mermaid Treasure Hunter. She says, ask Jimmy about his fancy yellow Jeep and bike. He's got all the cool toys.
Yeah, I did. I splurged and got me an e-bike, and I couldn't stand not to get one that matches the Jeep. So I'm running around with a yellow Jeep with a yellow bike, and I've had quite a few people, say nice things about the color trend.
Well, it's kind of yellow gold. Yellow is the yellow gold. That's what we
Absolutely.
want.
Well, yeah, that's a big gold. I'm driving around in a big gold brick.
So you've told us, Jimmy, that you're the president of the Central Florida Club. What you got coming up with your club?
Well, let me think. Well, I am the acting president at the time. I tell a little story. I went to a club meet one night and woke up the next morning in Shanghai, and I was club president. So, but anyway, uh, we're starting to plan our big October hunt coming up this year. And last October, we had over 180 people show up. We had, God, I don't know how many prizes. I mean, I know the club put out over close to 500 prizes itself. We had Milan, all the major distributors. We had different vendors come out and set their tents up, and we just had a big time. And so we're planning another one coming up this October. We don't have a date yet, but it's probably going to be in the second half of October.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
try
I'm
to.
already,
Is
I'm already starting to buy up relics and other prizes to go along with the token hunts and like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be a little bigger than what it was last year.
now
It was
is that
pretty big.
will that one be at Moss Park or is that one going to be on the beach?
No, the problem about Moss Park after the pandemic, uh, they were not able to give us an answer. And if anything was to materialize in between the time we set the date, they would, and if they would close the park down, we would just been up that creek.
Yeah.
So we started looking around for a different place, and the church that we're having our meetings at now has got a real nice pavilion with about, I say, probably 10 acres. And we had plenty of room last year. We had 4 different hunts, and it went real well. And since then, we've cleared out a section of woods that we're going to have even that much bigger spot next year.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Very good.
So
Yeah.
I was going to say, Jeff, you got a question up there? You want me to ask it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Out There Adventures, and he says, "Hey Jimmy, in your opinion, is the CTX better for locating deep gold than the Mine Lab Equinox, or was it you were just in the right place at the right time?"
Tell you the truth, I don't know if one machine would have been better than the other. I know that, well, I really feel like I wouldn't have found those 8 Escudos unless I had the CTX, and I didn't, and the 17-inch coil, I think, really played a part in that, because at that time the beach was completely stripped. Everything that you get a tone was something good, whether it was I got musket balls, I got shoe buckles, I've got spikes, I've got the buttons, I've got everything to do with that time period. And those last Escudos are so deep, they were just a peep. I mean, they were just a scratch on the detector. And I was really surprised once I dug it up how deep it was and all that I could have passed over those things easily. Now the twos, they wasn't very deep at all. I say 6-8 inches. But
But you like the 8s better.
again,
Yeah, I like the 8s better too, but I'd take the 2s any day.
oh yeah. So, I think another machine. Now we did have a GPX out there, but the problem with that is I couldn't get nowhere close to the GPX because
Yeah.
they like to talk to each other too much. So I would work an area, and then I'd pass the GPX and work another area, and he'd pass me, and we just hop scooped along the beach and covered it like that. But I do remember a couple other detectors that was out there. I remember seeing a Garrett, and they walked right by us and didn't didn't even act like they was hearing anything at all. And there was another machine, which I don't exactly remember what it was. It might have been Excalibur. I think it was. But they were in that exact same area that we was finding the goat in. Of course, we played it cool. We didn't act like we finding anything at all. So they just
I'm with
just
you.
went on by. Courtesy, they didn't want to crowd us too much, so they just walked on by, like that. But the question, I don't know. I don't know if another machine would have heard those targets or not.
Yeah, and I think your uh, preference, the large coil hitting the really deep coins. I mean, that's. I think it maybe if you had an Equinox with the 15-inch coil, you might have got it, but
Yeah, yeah.
you're used to that. Now, how about for relic hunting? You're not using that CTX for relic hunting, are you?
I switch back and forth. Like I say, the guys I hunt with, they all got the Daces and the Dace twos, and there's different times. I mean, I'll be right there with them, and they'll just eat my lunch. That Deus two will pick up some of the finest little pieces that I've seen. And as you probably know, CTX will not do that. And
Yeah.
that's
Well,
one of the reasons I think the Manicore would be good if it has the response speed of the Equinox and the depth and lock on a target like the CTX does. I think it's going to be a real good machine.
yeah.
Now, I know they've got trouble in iron infested areas. I'm not worried about that because I want to use it for a beach machine more than you want to use it for, a cellar hole or, a old plantation site or something like that. Now, the
Yeah.
Equinox, that Equinox loves silver coins. It
Oh,
just
yeah.
popped them like crazy.
Now,
But I
when
do.
you I was going to say when you are beach hunting, like when you were hunting that site there, you were digging iron signals too, weren't you? Anything?
Very little, very little.
Okay.
In fact, I really think at the time the coins started appearing, I wasn't worried about the iron targets. I was just going after those sweet sounds.
Okay.
So probably it did pick up a lot of iron, but I didn't pay that much attention to them at the time. There was
Yeah.
one day, there was one day that we pulled up 12 two escudos. Now you think I'm going to be looking for iron when the escudos start coming up like that? I don't even remember hearing any of them.
He
Yeah.
had gold fever.
Yes, for
We
sure.
do have a
Gold
question
fever.
Yeah.
from Rick Tubbleston. He wants to know how much 1715 treasure do you think is in the Indian River?
I don't doubt that there's not some in the Indian River because they probably had, salvage camps all along through there, and they were probably trying to pull it all the way back across to the river. Uh,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go up in through there. I think a lot of those areas is kind of protected, so I don't know if you could get in there legally or not and hunt. But I guess if you're in the water, you could do anything you wanted to. But up in the shoreline and into the woods, I don't think you could. I don't think you could hunt that. I'm not sure though.
I don't know. I don't know much about the Indian River at all. And I might, since Phil's got that 13-inch coil, I'm deciding if I'm too old to be swinging a 13-inch coil. I might be, Phil.
Yeah, it's really not that much heavier though, Jeff. I'll have to put it on the scale. It's just it's going to feel different, that. You might have to
Yeah.
put a counterweight to
Yeah,
balance
well,
it.
I'll put it on the Steve's detector rod shaft. It's got a little longer butt end on it for balance.
Yeah.
So I have to decide whether I want to spend the money for it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice coil. Now I haven't got any reviews yet. One of my friends, Rich Chiavari, just got one, and so did Jean. I think she's on here. She just got one. So I haven't had any reports back yet if the 13-inch, how much deeper it is, and how they like it on the beach yet. So we'll find out.
Here's a good question from Ricky T again. He says, the gold and silver coins you found on the beach, do you think they're random shipwreck coins or part of a private civilian or private individual's purse?
Well, that's been brought up several different times. Is it directly off one of the ships, or could be one of the survivors just happened to gather that up and didn't make it very far to the beach and lost all this stuff? Was it some of the pirates that went down there and looted the salvage camps and happened to lose some of it on the way in or out? There's all kinds of possibilities. But with the dates on the coins, it's definitely from the 17th, 15th fleet.
Yeah, because you never know what came up there, and when on recovery efforts, or even after that, they could have found a bunch of coins on the beach and then dropped some of them. There were so many of them they were trying to carry off. Could have been looters or whatever. You never know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody could have hit it and then we're going to go back to get it and never did it. So you just never know.
Yeah, it could have been one survivor's thinking, well, I'm gonna gather some of this up, go stick it in my cubby hole,
yeah.
and come back and get it later, and never did make it back.
So it could have been looters, which you were one of them. You were looting the beach. You were a looter, Jimmy, just like I am.
I'm a looter.
That's right.
We all got pirate blood in us, I guess.
That's it. That's it. That is it. Rick Chavari says it hardly notices the difference with the weight of the 13-inch coil. Well, that's good to know, Rich, because I'm thinking about getting one.
Turn it up a little. It only goes up to one thing. Yeah. Well, Rich has
Jeff,
just.
what do you think about the?
What was that, Jim?
What do you think about possibly even a smaller coil in the water? With the Deus 2, do they have a smaller coil?
I have used my 9-inch coil in the water, and I tend to prefer the 11-inch. It's a little more stable, because in the water I'm scrubbing the bottom, and the 9-inch coil just a little too light for that, I think. And I like the 11-inch in the water, and now the 13 might be very good as well. I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. I'll have to try that out.
Well, I'm thinking on the term of easier to pinpoint with your scoop with a smaller coil versus, because a lot of those targets are just, they could be 3 or 4 inches on either side of the coil, and you think you got it pinpointed, and end up digging 4 or 5 times before you get it in the scoop.
I have not really had any problem with the 11-inch coil as far in regard to that in the water. Probably about if it's like 1 scoop deep, about 80% of the time I'll get it on the first scoop. Now, if it's a lot deeper, 3 or 4 scoops deep, that's another thing, But I really haven't had any trouble with that. I might not like the 13-inch coil for that reason. I don't know.
I think that Deus coil, the Deus is so fast. I never have any pinpointing even with the larger coil because it just went real quick.
Yeah.
And it's right dead center of the coil.
Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't had any problem, and I need to get to the beach and get in the water again pretty soon here.
Yeah. Especially the water starts warming up, for sure.
Yeah. So we got a
Phil, have you had the chance? Phil, have you had the chance to use the Manicore yet?
No, I've had them here in the shop, but as soon as they come in, I kind of let them go because I've been so busy here working, and I haven't taken it out in the beach yet. So, not yet.
I mean, I've been watching all the testers and everything, and got my pros and cons about a few things. A friend of mine down here in Daytona, I dig Daytona. He got his a week or so ago, and he likes it. He likes to use the pinpointer quite a bit. He says the pinpoint is kind of off on the detector, but I think he got that cleared up. He lowered something down, and he got a little bit more accurate. So that might not be an issue, but I'm trying to learn everything I can about the Manticore before I get it. So I asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. I just haven't had a chance to get out on the beach with it to see. It's got some nice features, but I don't know.
I don't know. Out there Adventures wants to know, do you believe that the gold coins are still washing up during storms?
I hope they do. I'll be out there looking for them if they do. But
I
since
think they do.
since that storm, the state came in there and put. Well, I kind of gauged to how much sand has been loaded up on that particular beach,
Hmm.
and after they replenished the sand, there's more than 16 foot of sand that they had put on top of that beach. And of course, some of it has gotten down. This last couple of storms has taken 3 or 4 or 5 foot off of it, but that's not nearly enough yet.
You still got
I believe,
10 feet to go through.
yeah, I believe there's more coins there. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay there to keep looking, but I really feel like there probably still some more out there.
Oh, I think so. Surfside Dan wants to know how many times you've been back to that spot.
Yeah, I had to turn mine off, so I
Yeah.
can't hear it.
Okay.
Jimmy, how many times
Oh,
you've
I
been back
check
to
it
that
pretty
spot?
much anytime we have a major storm come through. I'll eyeball it. I can tell if it's worthy about detecting or not. And of course, I've been told I've got a few people watching me, and I don't want to give up the location, so I'm real cautious on anytime I go out there to look and watch after it. That
Yeah, well, you heard
I'm just real cautious.
Yeah, you might have to put a costume on so nobody knows who you are.
well, you know that Terry Shannon had somebody put a GPS tracker on his car.
I know. I heard that. I heard that.
You know, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So, what do you
It
think?
is.
Phyllis, you want
It
to give
is.
stuff away?
Let's do it for sure.
Okay, everybody. Uh, we are giving away a swag pack from Myers Metal Detectors tonight. And as you know, it will have a Myers Metal Detectors hat. It will have one of the great Myers Metal Detectors t-shirts. It will have the much, much coveted. And I mean, this sucker is coveted. You know, Florida calendar from Myers
Yeah,
Metal
gotta have the
Detectors.
calendar.
Plus. Now, I don't Phil may have thrown some other stuff in there, but this is this is the gold escudo of beach towels.
Yes. Hand towels when you're out there digging in the dirt. You got something to wipe your hands or wipe your coin, even though you're not supposed to wipe your
Now
coin.
that is cool.
That is
Yeah.
right. And so what you had to do is you had to enter with the phrase that nobody stocks more for less, and that is true at Myers Metal Detectors. If Phil doesn't have it in stock, you don't need it, and nobody stocks more for less. So get ready, because I've got the name of the winner. You'll have 3 minutes to text at my number on the screen with your name and that you are here. And then I'll give Phil the high sign when we get the winner, and then I'll tell you what else you got to do. So, Nick Haas, you are the winner of the Myers Swag Pack. Get your fingers ready and text with your name and that you are here. Nick Haas.
Nick Koss.
Come on, Nick.
Let's see if
Now,
we got
Jimmy, did you ever do any bottle digging?
No, but I tell you what's coming up on my calendar. I've got a real good friend in Texas, and I've been invited to come out there. And just so happens he's got like 2 miles on the Colorado River, and he's already located several Indian camps that was on there. And I've been there before, and we've dug up quite a few arrowheads and points and different pieces, and looking forward to going back up there here in the next few weeks and hunt with him again for 3 or 4 days. So haven't really got into bottle hunting. I did get to meet Brandon Nichols not last summer, and he's out of Alabama. He's real known in YouTube, and he hunts and finds some fantastic bottles in his area. So maybe I'll get an invite sometime to go over there. I don't know.
Well, I
But
know that
there's
you,
enough to do here. I don't even have time. I don't even really have time to go back up to Tennessee. My friends up there doing all the club
yeah.
activities that we have and all of that. And it's getting kind of uh, go ahead, Jeff.
We got the winner.
Awesome. So we
So
know
now
All
what he
right.
needs to do, he needs to send an email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, name, address, phone number, and t-shirt size.
yes, be sure to
Send
send
it
that.
to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. We'll get it down to Philip and you will get your prize. And
Absolutely.
it's coveted. Trust me, these things you definitely want. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you know, Jimmy, I was asking about the bottles because I know the Deland, they have a big bottle show usually once a year. And I just went to the Tampa bottle show, so antique bottle show. I just think they're cool shows for antique
Yeah, I did
bottles.
see that come up on Facebook last week, but again, I was somewhere else at that date and couldn't possibly get back over there. But
Yeah.
I did see one in Sanford a couple years back, and don't know when it's coming back around. I would like to hear a little bit more about it.
Back there.
Well, we were talking about the Deus too, and I noticed that we have something else in the chat tonight. Dan from Dan's Lanyards, the Danyards, and if anybody hasn't got one of these, he makes one strictly for the Deus too. There's a lot of Deus 2 users out there, and it is
What's up?
it is really good to have because it fits right in the bottom of your remote control, and then it wraps around your shaft. So you can't, because if you're hunting in the water and your remote control pops out, there's about $800. What are you cooking up, Philip?
I got a lanyard.
Yep,
This is for your pro pointer or your pin pointer.
yep.
It's a Dan's lanyard. And then Jocelyn said somebody was talking about the Myers metal detectors treasure talk towel. And of course, if you were to order something, just ask for it, and we'll throw one of these in the box with it. So make sure you ask for that.
It's Christmas every day at Myers Metal Detector.
Yes, it is. We treat our customers awesome. So if
That's
they
right.
want something, we'll just throw it in the box with it when we're shipping it out for sure.
But you're not asked for lunch.
Don't ask for lunch.
They're not asked for lunch. You'll get a towel, but you can't stay for lunch.
They can't say for lunch. No. All righty.
So
So
Dan's lanyards, you got the one for the Deus 2 in stock too.
yes, I do. Yeah, because if that comes off while you're out relic hunting and you don't have it hooked up to the wire, like we run the wire, it's different. The Days is different than the Mind Lab product. Everything is wireless, Jimmy. So you have to have an antenna. So if you're out relic hunting and you don't use the antenna and your detector module falls off, you could lose it.
And even the antenna,
I've heard
if
those.
you're out in the waves, like on the East Coast particularly,
Oh yeah,
if you're,
if you're hunting
the
in the
waves
water.
beat you to death, and if your remote control pops off, it can rip that wire right off it, and there goes $800 for that remote control. So
Yes.
Dan's lanyard, I think it's what's it like $20, Phil, for the
I
Dave
think it's like
lanyard?
$18.95.
It's
$18.95
money well
is on this package here.
Yeah, money well spent.
Yes, it is, and even for your pinpointer, because I've had people, customers say their pinpointer floated away, and I had to hold back from laughing, but I was happy anyway because they bought a new pinpointer.
I never had, using a pinpointer in the water. I mean, unless you're only knee deep. But if you're out there, waist deep and stuff, I don't think the pinpointer is going to do you much good.
Yeah, I never take my pinpointer to the beach. How about you, Jim? You use a pinpointer on the beach?
Oh no, I've got a bad habit about digging the target up and kicking it. What I call kicking it out of the sand. And then sometimes, I have to go on my hands and knees and find that little bitty piece because it my eyesight's not getting any better, and I have to get down and try to hunt it down. But one thing I wanted to say about those days is I think I heard a story about a guy, his control popped off before he knew it, and he had to use his pinpointer to find his control box. Is that right?
Yeah, you can do that.
It could have happened. Yeah, people
So
do.
that Dave's lantern on the dais like that will definitely pay for itself.
You
Yes, it
bet you
would.
will.
He wouldn't have lost it. He'd be back at hunting even quicker, for sure.
That's right. So Martin Bishop wants to know what scoop you're using, Jimmy.
I got the extreme.
That's a good scoop for sure. Are you using the titanium or just the stainless?
This is stainless. I heard that the titanium is really hard to get a hold of right now.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That's a tough one. I don't carry it. John was on the show before, but he can't give me any products, so we've got the Stealth line of scoops in stock, and we're fixing to get a new scoop too.
Yes, we are.
We're going to get the Motley scoops out of where are they out of? Norway, Netherlands. Okay, and they got some real cool colors too, and they're a super nice scoop. So we're going to be getting those hopefully within a month or two, just in time for beach season.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of real interesting features on the Motley scoop as well.
Yes.
And of course, Anderson makes a carbon fiber shaft for the Motley.
Yes, they do. And I'm supposed to be getting an Anderson order in because I saw they sent me the tracking. So hopefully I'll have some new Anderson products in here within the
And
next.
Brian will be in the show before long.
Yes, yeah, cool company, and they
Yeah,
sell.
and he's doing a video for us too. How things are done at Anderson shafts. You're going to see how they work.
For sure.
Coming up soon on the Coil Tech show. I'll be at Dig Stock during that time, so Big Poppy Joe Vizzi will be sitting in for me. Well, Trevor's going to take you on a tour of his factory.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Now Trevor makes some good coils even for the CTX and for the Equinox and soon for the Manticore. But that's Coil Tech. Jimmy makes a large coil for the CTX, although I think it's a 14x9, and then he makes I think it's a 6x9 for the CTX, which are good coils. I've sold quite a few of those. Have you ever used a Coil Tech product?
No, I haven't. No, I used I tried a core lock one time, and they were just a little too heavy for me, so I passed it on to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
He's got some of the Equinox coils. He's got a 9x14 that would be really good on the beach, and it's not real heavy. It's very well balanced.
Yeah, it is a balanced coil, and then of course they have the 15-inch and also the 5x10 Coil Tech has for the Equinox. So I'm excited to see what they come out with for the Manticore, because I think the Manticore, Mine Lab is bringing out a 5x8 for that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking again about the Manticore, I'm interested in if they are planning to, or anybody else planning to, make a bone conducting headphones for the Manticore for underwater use.
I don't know. I don't know if they may. I know Deus has got the bone conducting headphones, and I like them.
Yeah, everybody likes them, and I've tried them out with the Deus underwater, and they work great.
Well, see, my problem
one of the things I did.
I got bad hearing, and I had some great headphones.
One of the other things I was interested in is, the feature in the 900 and the Manticore is the vibrating handle. I think that will be real good for underwater use as well. But those bone conductors on the Deus 2, they work fantastic.
Yeah, they do. And they work good for me because I have hearing problems, and I was missing some of the real faint signals. But I don't miss them with the bone conductors. I mean, I hear it all.
And the iron signals will make you jump too, don't they, Jeff?
Oh, some of them do, yeah. Some of them make you jump right away from that target. 'Cause you know
It's such a low tone and it just vibrates real low. Like it's
That's right.
It's funny. It'll scare me. Well, Jimmy, thank you for coming on here. It looks like we're getting that hour went super fast.
It's gone.
It did.
Yes.
Sure did.
So thank you for coming on here and doing what you do and sharing your wisdom with our many members. It's always fun.
Well, again, I feel like sometimes I was just a blind squirrel finding a nut. And I appreciate y'all having me back on.
By the way.
Yeah, a very good nut. I appreciate you having me back on the show. And I hope everybody will follow me on YouTube, try to grow a channel. And maybe we'll talk again next time. I've got some things coming through the pipeline that would be real interesting, but I've got to get everything worked out before I can even discuss it.
Okay. Well, cool.
Okay. Well, I'll be getting up with you. We can hunt together when we're down there in April. Be mid-April, so 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, whatever it is. So that whole weekend. So we'll get together and do a little hunt.
Send me a message.
I'll do it. I'll do it. So
thank you, guys.
Well, thank you.
Jimmy.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Jocelyn, for all your help. And I guess we're about to end it, huh, Jeff?
We are indeed. You say good night. Thanks to Jocelyn.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Absolutely.
get that girl a bottle of wine.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So thanks everybody for watching. Next week it will be Chicago Ron will be here.
Chicago Ron.
And he's going to be coming fresh back from an England trip. Plus he's got new trips he set up to Aruba we'll be talking about. And he may even have some openings on those. He sent me an email the other day. So that's going to be a really great show. Chicago Ron's very, very fun guy, great detectorist, runs great barn hunts in England and now in Aruba. So we will see him next Monday night for Treasure Talk. So Philip, thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
To Jocelyn for helping us out, keeping us running straight. And thanks, Jimmy, for joining us tonight. Look forward to seeing you in April. So everybody, remember, if Phil doesn't have it in stock, you really don't need it. And nobody stocks more for less than Myers Metal Detectors. Happy hunting, everybody, and dig deeper.
Happy hunting, folks. Have a good week.